I saw, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm just the practice. Okay.
That was just practice.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Yeah, we got left to your screen up on the top. Paul from Scotland. Paul Capaldi, right? Capaldi.
Correct.
Am
Yes,
I
that's
getting
right.
it right? Okay, we
Yeah,
got Melville to the right here. He's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. About almost 100 miles from me, maybe a little less.
About
And me
that.
and myself, I'm from Two Rivers, Wisconsin. And then down in the bottom, we got Jerome from Belgium. He's way over. So, and then we'll let Dan take it away.
Okay, great. Well, it's great to see all you guys here. I have just a little bit of an update. We had a press conference in the city of Neenah that talked about a couple of different things that are happening right now. One of them is the attorney Walter Stern from Kenosha, Wisconsin, has brought a case against the city of Neenah and the Neenah Police Department on behalf of the hostages. So what happened with the hostages in any type of situation where you have the innocents, or they're called the witnesses, you always treat them well. Number one, they've gone through a traumatic event. Their friend had just gotten shot and killed. Michael Funk, who is the hostage, runs out of the building. The police open fire on him, shoot him 17 times. So what they did was they knew who the hostage taker was, and they treated the hostages like they were the bad guys. So they cuffed them, basically retained them, brought them to the station, grilled them. They didn't do what they were supposed to do in that situation. In that situation, you have to treat those people with kid gloves. You have to treat them well because they've gone through a traumatic situation. They've been taken hostage, number one. Their friend has just got shot and killed. Close friend has got shot and killed. So Walter Stern, along with this advocacy group headed by Rob Slamka, they're doing a civil suit looking for punitive damages on behalf of the hostages. So they want some recompense for the way that they were treated. And then secondarily, there were two police officers that did 99% of the shooting. He was actually shot at 19 times. They found 17 either bullet or bullet holes in him. They let him to bleed to death for 45 minutes. They didn't render aid. So they're going after second-degree reckless homicide charges against these two police officers. So that's kind of it in a nutshell on the updates on it. If you have any questions or anything, I can field them as well.
Well, certainly I have a question, and that is there not also a sense that, for goodness sakes, Neenah Police Department apologise for what happened?
Yeah, I think, once you apologize, I guess you're assigning guilt to yourself. If you apologize, you get into an argument with somebody and you're the first one to apologize, you might be the bad guy. You might be the one who is in the wrong. So I think that's a little bit, and they weren't asking for much. They were just, asking for that apology. They were gonna, we're so sorry we treated the hostages this way. They didn't do anything like that. So the press conference was last Friday, I think. Friday.
Yeah.
And it was pretty earth-shattering. They had the mayor of Neenah there, and they had the police chief as well. To his credit, the police chief, Aaron Olson, is saying that we're going through great changes here at the Neenah Police Department. We're becoming better police officers. We're better trained. We're better people. So that was really cool. And then Mayor Dean Coffert, who's also an old friend of mine, he owns a bar, restaurant. That's why, no shit, So he owns this really cool bar restaurant in Neenah that I used to frequent actually quite often. And he basically said too, the police have really made leaps and bounds and have really bettered themselves. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, I've got a question. How, in a trial or for the public attention, it's possible for a cop or somebody in the same situation to argue so much of fire, so much of bullet fire on one man, because if you shoot somebody one time or two times, okay, but 11 times, how can you argue with that in front of a trial or in front of a jury? How
Yeah.
can you argue with that? It's it's really horrible because it's not just one shot; it's 11. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Overkill.
Yeah. It's
Execution.
yeah. That's
Well,
essentially if
the fact that they didn't even render aid at all.
yeah. 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 It's one of those things too. If you're an imminent threat, I always when I'm being interviewed for this, and I come from the perspective of a writer actor, and I got involved because I believe in justice and truth. And there's a potential project called a $50 million bullet. Where I'll be playing the gentleman who actually gets shot and killed, Michael Funk, ML. So I got involved with it from an actor's perspective as a writer, number one, actor number two. But what I really, the most egregious thing about it is if you're a police officer, someone's coming towards you and that person is an imminent threat. They've got a gun pointed at you or a sharp knife. Guess what? You can take that person down. And that's justifiable homicide. That's they're immune from any prosecution because that person is coming at them and it's me versus that person. I'm going to take that person down. If the person isn't an imminent threat, he's running out of the building, his back is to the police officers. There's a person in the building on the phone saying, we've got there's a hostage coming out, So somebody is in the building on the phone with the Neenah PD. So, and they knew there's a 20-some year difference between the hostage taker and the hostage. They don't look anything alike. And they knew what they looked like.
They knew, yeah.
So it's a horrible, horrible tragedy, and justice needs to be served. And yeah.
I think it's nice that Aaron Olson is accepting that, basically saying that they need to change and to improve, and they are better. But but it's almost as if so can you please overlook what we did back then because we're now getting better? I'm sorry, pal, it doesn't work like that.
No. And I tell people this too. Chris Rock, did I do this on your show? I don't know if I did this. Oh, no, it was on WCGO in Chicago. Chris Rock talks about this. He says, he said, I don't like that 98% of all the police officers are good and 2% are bad. We have to shoot for 100% of them good people. He said, could you imagine if you were the CEO of a airline and let's say it's 2020 Airlines and your name is Paul Silver. Yeah. So you come out and say, hello, folks, you're at an airport. I'm the CEO of 2020 Airlines. 98% of our pilots are really good, but 2% are going to smash you into a mountain and kill you all. Would you fly with those people? Hell no. You wouldn't want the 2% that's going to be your pilot. So we have to shoot for 100%. They have to be held to a higher standard. They have to get better training. They have to get sensitivity training.
It's not even better training. They need constant training.
Constant.
Like the Army and Navy and Coast Guard. They're always training, training.
They're always
training. They go through like 6 to 8 weeks of training, and then it's like once a year.
Yep.
You are absolutely right, Michael, because the system evolves all the time. So everybody needs to evolve all the time in the same times. So you are really, really right about that. You are not. No, go ahead, because.
Yeah, it's the training has to be constant, has to be year round.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask you guys. We're all guys together. There's no girls here. Okay. I'll tell you about a funny little story that happened many years ago. I'd only just moved to Scotland, and my uncle, who plays in piano bars all over the world, said, "Look, he's come to Scotland he's been offered the chance to come to Edinburgh, Scotland, for a month residency. Could you go and check the place out?" I went and checked the place out, reported back, said, "You'll go down the storm." He came along, and he did. He had a month at the piano bar, Frederick Street, and it was absolutely brilliant. And I just happened in a conversation a few months later. I should explain. He's living in Cheltenham, but he goes all around the world. But obviously, he's away from home for a month, to do the piano bar gig. And I happened to let slip a few months later to Auntie Aileen, his wife. I said, "Oh, Chris went down an absolute storm at the piano bar." I said he got this one fella up who was like really good singer, like Frank Sinatra type stuff. There was a couple of younger girls that came along and they sang, and I was saying how good it was, but I'd already put my foot in it, hadn't I? Because Chris then says to me, Paul, a couple of days later, "Did you have to mention the girls to Auntie Aileen? Because what are women like when you're away, 300 odd miles away, and they haven't got access to you? They get very, very jealous, don't they?" I think we can all relate to that, can't we? Would you agree, Pete? I think you're nodding there, Pete.
Yeah.
The women they get protective, don't they?
Oh,
I wanted to share this with you. It was a comment on a video from an absolute guilter. A bit of a. Well, I'm going to choose my words carefully, but I just wanted to share this with you. Hopefully, I can find it okay. It's somewhere here. Let's do that. Let's do that. And let's. There we go. It's definitely there somewhere. Let's just get rid of those. That'll make life easier. And so, what have we got here? Oh. No, drat it. Can't control this screen at times. I do apologise. There we go. No, for goodness sakes. Finally. It's. I don't know what's the matter with this thing.
You're not a computer wizard, then you're saying.
No, I'm not, unfortunately. Okay, so that's going the wrong way. So we'll go back this way because they're definitely here somewhere. Dickens are going. Oh, there we go. No. Oh, for goodness sakes! Hold on a sec. Let me go and dig it out.
Yeah, that
directly
usually happens.
from where it should be.
Sometimes you want to get to the screen you want, you don't, and then when you don't want it, then it's there.
Yeah.
Just make a special folder. Just make a special folder for your lives.
It's like when you're looking for something too, and
Yeah.
when you look for something, it's right there, but you don't see it. And then when you're not looking for it, oh, there it is.
Yeah, got it. I did actually, Bill, but you're absolutely right. I had it in a special folder of comments. Can everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And somebody's put this, right? Somebody called Sarthak Sharma 2 days ago. Explain this to me. And this is all backed by evidence such as phone calls out for anyone to hear. Why did Stephen Avery not mention to Jody on the 31st evening as well, night, making a total of 30 minutes of conversation, that Teresa was there today? Or he took a half day off, or he had a... Why did he not mention...
Because it was not a big deal.
Well, he does mention it because he's talking to her about calling her attorney, calling her probation officer.
Yeah, but it was not a big deal. The photographer was coming to take pictures, and so what? We don't talk 1 hour about one photographer coming 5 minutes to take a car.
What we don't have is Tuesday's phone calls.
Yeah, it's right.
One phone call on Thursday, a couple before the 31st that aren't being released.
And do you know why we don't have access to these calls?
There's sealed evidence, just like other people's interviews.
But KZ can have access to these calls, so
she sure as hell should.
Yeah,
but she had to get permission to see the RAV and everything else. So who really knows?
Yeah, it's true.
And they didn't give her the report with them giving the bones back. So who knows what else they didn't give her?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I
Go
was
ahead.
just going to ask.
I agree with my
I was
bidding.
just, just going to ask Pete though. I mean, when Steve was out for those 2 years, did you ever get the chance to meet Jody?
No, not really. I've seen her, but I never really met and talked to her. But I thought that was a good fit for him, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, so we don't know where they met, how they met, stuff like that.
No, no. All of a sudden, I seen pictures of her and them together. I was really happy for him because you know.
Mm-hmm.
From my understanding, she moved into the trailer first. Steven was still living in the ice shanty.
Yeah.
And then
okay.
he worked his way in there.
Okay.
Right.
Worked
Right.
his way.
Right. Yep. But would it be fair to say that, and I've heard this suggested a few times, that as soon as Stephen Avery was getting in the newspapers and he was being interviewed and being photographed with people, and he knew that he was set to receive a large amount of money, that might also have made him more interesting to certain women?
Yeah, I would suppose so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, power and
But
money are always.
Yeah. I mean, I get the sense that Jody is quite jealous.
Yeah.
I would imagine she was,
So-
yeah.
It seemed like it
Sorry,
went both
Dan, were you-
ways.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan, were you going to say something?
Oh, it's a weird thing. You know, the success of my film on Netflix, A Trip to Jamaica, you go from kind of this anonymity to where people can kind of try to track you down. I try to keep my personal life just personal. I don't try to get it, but
you're right.
Weird people like you for weird reasons. Then they don't like me because I'm naturally that they know me or that I'm naturally funny or whatever. But they like you from the screen, and then they just assume that you're going to be, you know, that same person. It's weird to get that. In that same, he had some fame, you know, and he had some fame and with money coming. So that is attractive, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No,
but
it's just that, I mean, so
Paul,
I bet you would have had a lot of people come out of the woodwork once you got the money. You know, it's like, well, why are you noticing me now? Oh,
Yeah.
you're a rich guy. You know how that works. You know.
Yeah.
But Paul, you put a good point because if we have Jody on the 31 of October 2005, it's really, really hard for Stephen to kill Teresa Halbach in front of Jody. So the way she was not there at this time, and she was arrested and she was in jail for misconduct. It's really,
I think driving under influence, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, when they took her into jail, Stephen was actually driving, and they took her in.
Because if you think about that, it was really the good time to frame him because he was alone. So nobody to testify if it's true or not because he was alone. So it's a possibility, but you need to ask him this question too. If Jody was never put in jail, Jody was targeted by somebody else to frame Stephen. This is a possibility. You have already heard somewhere, or because I was thinking about that. If Jody was not arrested, Jody was there on this day, and so what happens? We don't know. I know we don't know, but
she left the property.
Yeah.
I mean, what I also wanted to ask is, would there be, as I say, I get the sense that there's a lot of protectiveness coming from Jody as to what Stephen can and cannot do while she's locked up. You know, she still wants to be there in control. And
you also got to remember,
do you think the Marie Avery thing helped with that?
Well, her friend was about to be released from prison, and she was going to move in to the spare bedroom. They talk about it in the jail calls.
Wow. Wow.
I've listened to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's over 1,000.
I bet you. Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
I try to. I try to. I know it's not my own language, and it's often difficult to understand what they say, but I try to listen all the phone calls, and you learn a lot about and my belief for what you do. Really, you made a great job, man. Because wow, it's it's really hard to dissecate all these phone calls and enter in the mind of the people, and you do it so well. So you have all my respect for that, really.
Thank you.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Now, Pete, you sent me a video of the audio of Brendan being picked up on the November the 6th in Marinette County.
Yeah, that was the thing I got
And,
from.
and guess and guess,
That was the thing I got
yeah,
from Barb,
and guess
and
what?
I sent that out to people. Yeah.
Yeah, and guess what? Millbilly
What?
did a video about that very subject. What, just yesterday, Millbilly?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Sort of going into the depths of it. But can I just share with you guys? First of all, a very pretty young lady. She's
My ears
very
are
pretty.
burning.
Sorry.
I said, so you said a very pretty young lady, and I said, my ears are burning.
Yeah. No. Is it coming up? Is it going to come up? Come on. What's happening here? Oh, it's taking its time. It's thinking about it.
Hey,
It's the bus driver. Yeah.
Pete.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I ask Pete a question? You guys?
Yeah, absolutely,
Yes,
Dan. Yeah.
So, Pete, is your son Brad?
Yeah, that's my oldest one. I had from. I had 4 with Barb, and then I had another boy from somebody else. Yeah, that's my first son, Brad. Yeah. Why?
Brad wants to work with me. He does voiceovers, and he's a professional voice actor.
Oh yeah. He does a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Nice,
great
nice.
at it.
Yeah,
he's very
awesome.
talented.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, a
love
lot
that
of
video
people-
you
a
did
lot
for
of
Brendan.
people a lot of people think he's funny. He can do Beavis and Butthead, that cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does them. He does them both really good. Ask him to do that for you. Yeah, ask him to do that for you. He's really hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a friend on Facebook, but then we've had conversations via Facebook about projects coming up. So.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Excellent.
That would be
Small
nice
world.
if you hire him or whatever you want.
Small world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
small world. You're right, Jerome. Small world.
I'm hoping you can do Morgan Freeman, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, ask him about it. Maybe he'll probably work. Yeah.
But it's so nice because
Yeah.
we are just human beings, and we are bringing built and built, bringing, human things between us. And I know it can sound stupid, but no, it's not stupid because we need to, and that's why I really enjoy to be with you guys, because you are really true and you are really yourself, and I really appreciate that.
Same goes for you, Jerome. You're a very
you.
nice guy. I like you. I think you got a great sense of humor. I love your show. I love Paul's. And now I'm a fan of Millbillies as well. And now I get to meet Pete,
Yeah.
Dassey. So thank you
Yes,
guys.
thank you. Yeah. Glad to meet you too. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I
And you're right.
I always say the more the merrier on here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're right, and you try all to do our best with what we can do, and we don't joke, and we don't play, we don't act, we are ourselves, and we just try to do our best. And but there is some guys there and there who made an excellent job. I mean, I'm not able to do that, but they do an excellent job, and for that, congratulations, because my hat. So, but it's true. It's true.
Cheers, Joe. I just wanted to then share this picture. Hopefully that'll come up straight away. I think it's this one. Oh, this one here. This one here. No, for goodness sake, it was here just literally a moment ago. I had it all. Oh, for goodness sakes! Right.
Paul, you're
So
falling
Lisa
apart.
Buckner.
No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Bus driver, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I just Lisa Buckner, and now she says that she saw Teresa on the October 31st. I say impossible.
No, it was October 10th.
Yeah. Why does she say?
Well, that's a question. We don't actually hear what she says. We just hear the Cox rendition of what O'Neill and Sklorinsky pulls O'Neill out the car, and then Sklorinsky tells O'Neill whatever it is. But there's portion of that interview they stopped the tape. I don't know for how long, but they did.
And it's legal to do that, or?
Well, they should have never been talking to him in the first place.
No. Why is it impossible for it to have been? Why is it impossible for Lisa to have seen Teresa on the 31st?
Because where the van was positioned and where they get dropped off for school is over 1,000 feet away.
Yep. You cannot see from that turnaround. You can't see to the end of Avery, the end where Stephen Barber.
She can't say that. She can't say that she's seen it while she was driving up. She's supposed to be watching the road, not looking across the field.
No.
Yeah. Also, at what time was it? 3:45.
Yeah.
Teresa's long been and gone. Yeah. She was there an hour earlier and left over an hour earlier.
Well,
but of course,
after they pull when Neil steps out the car, they're just about to take him back to the cabin, and something changes. He comes back in the car and starts bringing up the bus driver, and then Brendan just starts guessing.
Yeah.
It's just like the March 1st all over again.
Yeah, I've actually got that bit of document right here. Because when you go to the transcript, you can get the audio, but it's very bad audio, isn't it, Millbilly? They've got like the blinker going.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The worst interview is the Barb interview when they're driving to the hospital.
Yeah.
You can't hear nothing.
Nothing.
I'll just read this bit out then. During the interview, Brendan told us that he lives with his mother on Avery Road next to his uncle Steve. He told us that he had never seen Teresa Holber nor heard Teresa at the property on Avery Road. When I asked Brendan specifically about seeing either Teresa or her vehicle on Monday, he again told us that he had not seen either. I had been informed by Agent Skolinski that law enforcement, also involved in this investigation, had interviewed the school bus driver, Lisa Buckner, that would have dropped off Brendan and his brother Blaine at the end of their driveway in Two Rivers, Wisconsin, on the Monday at about 3:45, and that the driver had reported seeing both Holbach and her vehicle on the Avery property, and that she was taking photographs of a vehicle for sale close to the road where the boys were dropped off, Stephen Avery's Blazer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
it's the wrong car.
You know, if it's true, if they take
that statement right there is true.
This is the last person who saw Teresa alive. It's not Bobby or Stephen because it's late.
Yeah,
it's after.
But that was Millbilly was saying that was back on the 10th, and
yeah,
there was a blazer for sale, wasn't there, Millbilly?
If you watch my video, we go over it all.
I haven't had a chance to yet, but I have seen photographs.
I posted just the interview with the transcript, and then the other day, me and 4 other people broke the whole interview down.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I think it was yourself and
Silkman,
Dr. Silkman, Big Jeff.
Gaff and Kelly.
Yeah. When I confronted,
Justin was there too.
Sorry?
Justin was there too.
Justin, right. Okay. When I confronted Brendan about seeing Teresa when he had gotten off the bus with his brother on that Monday, Brendan now said that he had seen Teresa. And it just shows how easily manipulated he is, doesn't it? You know, he'll just change the story, you know?
Yeah, like the one. Yeah.
Well, during that interview, he changes his story multiple times. First, he's seen her getting off the bus. Then she drove past them while they were walking to the house. And then he's seen her taking pictures of the van and then went in the house. And then he watched her from the kitchen sink. And he keeps telling her that he's seen her leave. He's seen her leave. Like, he's just recalling things he heard in the prior days. Got to mention this. Yeah. He leaves to go up north on Friday. This is Sunday morning. They had already talked to Bobby and Blaine the day before.
Yeah.
And we have no report of what Brian may have said or did not say because he's not even mentioned in the Marinette report.
No, it's weird. And like I said to Peter the other day, they was looking for the weakest of the family. And
it was Steven's alibi, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the main reason they went after Brendan.
They got it.
Yeah, they got it. And
they went after his alibi last.
It makes you wonder if me or Barb were there when they interviewed Brendan, it wouldn't have went the way it did. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Brendan even makes a statement that, maybe she was picked up, flagged down by somebody on the side of the road, and she was attacked with an axe. He's saying that because Martinez just attacked his girlfriend that Friday night, and he's seen it on the news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything he's saying, he's heard from somebody else. Like he says that he's seen her go down around and turn left towards Larrabee. Steven said that the day before in his interview.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he's sitting around his family, and this is all they're going to be talking about. And Steven is scared shitless.
Yeah,
it's true.
Why did they come and confiscate his car? He was not a suspect. And O'Neill makes notes of things that he observed in his car on the 5th when he went and talked to him in Crivets. And on Saturday, when they pulled him over, he makes notes of things that are not there no more. Like the bag of clothes that was in the back of the trunk, which is probably Steven's clothes. He's going to bring a change of clothes with him. Why would he leave it in the car? He's going to bring it in the house. But they were alone with that car. I don't know. Nothing makes sense in this case.
Yeah, there's so many loose ends hanging too, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can I just mention Crockett? Nice to see you here. I don't know if you called it Crockett, but I actually I was very pleased that you'd responded to the guilty that got on and started talking about the fact that Teresa. Steve never mentioned to Jody anything in the calls about Teresa coming, and I liked what you were saying there, Crockett. But honestly, pal, I certainly do not delete messages. Something I was discussing with Millbilly. There is seriously at times there's problems with YouTube. They don't give out notifications of when videos are coming out. They don't. You go to see if what a comment has been written, and it's not there. It's just disappeared. It's nobody deleting it. You know. It's. But yeah,
there's times I click on comments that people leave and it says it's no longer available.
Yeah. And I know that sometimes what YouTube does is it tries to act as a go-between, and if it's clearly spam, they might send me the notification that somebody's put that on, and then you go to it and it's not there anyway. So you think, well, that's fine, you know. So that's YouTube doing what they should do, and I think that can sometimes be the problem, isn't it? Apparently, if somebody comments too much or speaks, it's too many comments, then it's like a computer algorithm that thinks that it's a
there is a restriction or something like this. Yeah. I know.
Dan, I was going to tell you about this that I came across the other day. There's a case here in Scotland at the moment. It's a big deal. It's about a fella 14 years old accused of murdering his girlfriend in a terribly savage way, and it's becoming really, really big here in Scotland about a victim called Jody Jones and the boy that's brought up, Luke Mitchell, and it was something posted, and Luke Mitchell, and I thought this was absolutely brilliant, and I thought, well, I wouldn't be at all surprised, Dan, if you haven't seen this before, but certainly if you could read it out for us, that would be great. So I think it's just a great way of looking at things.
You know, is this it right here? The naked yeah, it's, you know, when I get approached by people who that these fantastic or these horrible crime cases, you know, Hollywood's always looking for that, you know, obviously, because it's you know, it's famous or it's salacious and you know, big time. So they're always kind of looking for those types of stories, you know, to go along. But for me, it's, you're talking about the naked truth and the lie. I try to bring the truth into every single character I play. There is, you have to, you know.
Yeah. So Dan, would you like to read it out for us?
Sure. I can do that.
Yeah.
The truth and the lie meet on the road one day. The lie says to the truth, "It's a marvelous day today." The truth looks up to the skies and sighs, for the day was truly beautiful. They walk together for a while until they reach a beautiful well. The lie tells the truth, "The water in the well is very nice. Let's take a swim together." The truth, once again suspicious, tests the water and discovers that it is indeed very nice. They undress and start to bathe. Suddenly, the lie jumps out of the well, puts on the clothes of the truth, and runs off towards a nearby village. The furious truth leaps out of the well and runs to find the lie and get her clothes back. The villagers, seeing the naked truth, are horrified and look away with contempt and rage. Yeah. The poor truth returned to the well and disappeared forever, hiding her shame. And since that day, the lie travels the world, clothed as the truth. Yeah.
I thought that was. Who's it by? It's a 19th.
Yeah.
From the 19th century.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was some brilliant writing, and I thought, well, yeah.
Oh yeah. It's weird when the truth is presented. I always say the truth has its own weight. It has its own. It's an entity. It's an actual physical. It's not only an ethereal kind of thought or a thought process. The truth brings its own weight, brings its own sword, brings its own shield. And that's why people don't like to confront it, and that's why, because it is powerful.
Exactly. Yeah. I completely agree, Dan.
Yeah.
Really well said. Really well explained and very well said.
Yeah. Thank you.
Completely agree.
Yeah. It's and that's when in these cases, when you're bringing the truth and people are, it's just like the same thing. I've worked on a set with this one actor who's super famous. I won't mention his name, but he's an asshole.
He's a what?
An asshole.
Oh, okay. I thought he said something else.
Yeah, a complete and utter asshole. But he's a contrarian. So if you walk out and say, "Hey, the sky is really blue today," he'd look at you and go, "No, it's not. No. The sky is green."
Yeah.
But those are the type of people, though, that number one, they don't work well with others. Number two, they're not truthful. They're not speaking the truth. They're not relaying the truth. Yeah. And I don't have time for those guys. I'm at an age and a time in my life where I just tell them to. So we do the same thing with lies. You know, when lies are presented to us, just say goodbye to them. Just don't even, always walk through.
We don't need dark energy. We need energy, but nice energy. I mean, it's not easy what we do. It's not easy what you do, Dan. It's not my belief. It's not easy what you do, Paul. It's not easy what you do. Everyone. I mean, it's not easy. We need good energy, and because it's a kind of fuel for us, and we don't need negative stuff. So I completely agree. It's the way it must be, but
And what you guys are doing, every single one of you guys, is promoting the truth, promoting justice, promoting those things. And in this day and age, we have to be bold about that. we have to be unafraid. We have to be courageous. And you guys are. You guys bring the truth with that sword and bring the truth with the shield. And that's awesome. And keep doing what you guys are doing. And I wish I was drinking a beer right now. I see Jerome and Paul have one. It's too early in
the Pete's got his brandy in his Coke bottle.
You can't drink all day unless you start in the morning.
That's true, Millbilly. You can't drink all day unless you start in the morning.
But
I'm drinking coffee.
We have all the time for a good beer.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, Pete. Last week we mentioned about the fact that you got the message from Bob saying, "Remember, Brendan's phoning you at 3:00," and of course you got the phone call from Brendan. But then you did speak to him and mentioned about what would be the how would you feel about being live on the channel? What was the situation there?
Oh yeah, he said he would be more than happy to, but he didn't want to get in trouble from the prison there because they got certain rules,
Yeah.
So, but he wouldn't mind doing it. He would come on here, no problem.
Yeah.
And,
but I
must admit,
I did suspect that. So.
Yeah, I did ask him. He says, "I'll tell everybody," and he says, "Don't worry about it."
I don't see what the problem is because the jail is recording the phone call themselves. So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah. He just thought he might get in trouble,
Yeah,
sometimes they got asses up there too,
I'd have him ask his attorneys first.
Yeah, when he was at Portage, there was a guard there that one time turned him in for something to do with a picture, and he didn't even put the picture on there. Somebody else did, and he got in trouble for it. So yeah, it was really, the guard didn't like him, so he had to, I just didn't care about
I mean, Brendan. I mean, what is there to dislike about him?
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, you're right. You said it right out. You took the words right out of my mouth, Paul.
One thing about the Brendan interview, while it's being conducted, there's an officer that shows up to tow the car. Just so happens to live with Don Plitzka from Auto Trader.
Oh,
wow! Yeah,
strange.
Yeah. Small world, as we said, isn't it? Small.
Yeah,
world.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but there it's really too small, and in the same period of time. Because it's too small to be not read, and it's really read. And you're right. It's but in this case, more you dig to find the truth, more you understand there is a lot of nonsense from the police, from the. I mean, it's crazy, but in the same time, there is an answer, and we are looking for the truth. So we will continue for sure, but it's not all the time easy because with all these inconsistencies, it's sometimes it's really hard to figure out what happened or not.
Well, there was never a proper investigation done, so.
Yep. Watch, my buddy, about Cuss Road. There is so much thing to say about Cuss Road, and I mean, in the KSO, Cuss Road doesn't appear a lot at all, but there is a lot of things to say about this place.
There's one page, like 3 paragraphs.
Yeah.
And in Manitowoc Summary Report, they don't even mention Cuss Road. They talk about White Cedar, which is the road right before. It's off Cuss Road.
Absolutely.
The audio paints a completely different story.
Yeah. The dispatch calls,
Not the dispatch calls, just off the transmissions for that day.
The transmission. Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that they start finding everything after the 7th. After
this just after
discovered.
the 7th. Yeah.
And Paul, you made a great point about did we not see all of KZ's reenactment? Is there more to it?
Yeah. That's what makes me think. But for Norm Garn to refer to the burial site, I thought, wow, that is real scary. Listen, guys, we've got so much to talk about, but could we get together next week, same time next week?
Yeah, sounds good. Same time, same bat.
Yeah.
From not at work, I'm here.
Nice
It's
to
work
meet
for
you
me.
there,
Excellent.
Don. And
Well,
nice to
but-
meet you, Don and Mel Billy.
For me
Pete,
too.
you
it
take
was,
it away.
again.
Pete, you take
nice
it
to
away.
meet you, Don and Mel Billy.
Nice to meet you too.
Take care, you guys.
Adios. I hate that when he puts me on the spot. So we meet again, guys, next week. All right, awesome.
Cheers,
Okay.
guys.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheerio.
Yep. Have a good weekend, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you've done this
Thanks,
already, please
Okay,
subscribe.
take care, guys.
Later.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.